evening to you and welcome to another Would I Lie to You? I'm Paul Henry and this is the show where we sort the facts from the fiction. Let's meet tonight's panellists. On Jessie Mulligan's team tonight, she's one of our most talented and successful businesswomen and she's beautiful too. But enough about Sarah Tetro. Please welcome Suzanne Paul. And he once called me a dickhead live on national television. This, then, is my chance to get back at him. But as you can see, he's much tougher than I am, so I'll just call him Josh Cromfeld. And on John Bridges' team tonight, on The Almighty Johnsons, he plays a boy who turns 21 and discovers he's actually God. I'm planning on suing for stealing my life story, but for now, it's Emmett Skilton. And he's the front man for the band LMNOP and currently studying to learn the rest of the alphabet, Dave Gibson. Let's go to our first round now, Home Truths, where our panellists each read out a statement from the card in front of them. Now, to make things harder, as you might know, they have never seen the card before. They've got no idea what they're going to be faced with. It's up to the opposing team to sort the truth from the lies. Let's start with you, Josh.
Oh, it's possession.
So if you grope around under your desk there, Josh, you will find an item you may know well or you may never have seen before in your life and read from the card what it is.
These are some pants that I made for myself.
Some pants that... Good Lord, some pants that Josh made.
It's a lie, moving on.
Wow. What are they made from, Josh?
I went into a store and I had to go to a pink party. Obviously, I'm looking for the colour pink and a texture that would flatter my already curvaceous buttocks.
Mm-hmm. So let me get this straight, Josh. The famous All Black got invited to a dress-up party, the colour pink, and you decide to make your own pants.
I mean, what else do you do?
You put on a pink
Most
hat.
people would just buy themselves some pants, Josh.
You dye your hair pink.
I thought it would be neat to borrow my friends.
It would be neat. Josh was in the famous Five at the time.
My friend's sewing machine and proceeded to make a pattern.
So you made the pattern yourself?
Yes.
So you Josh Cromfeld, the All Black, made yourself a pattern for some pants that worked out.
He's done a good job of it too. Look at this. He's got the little band.
Can you just come around here with the pants and just hold them up in front of you so that we can have a good look at how they must have looked?
I'm going to inspect these babies. Those are a fine pair of pants, aren't they? Do they still fit you, Josh? Yeah, I think we're going to have to see them on. Put 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 them on.
I would love to, but I'm not wearing underpants.
So do you normally go on television with no underpants on?
Underpants. I feel filthy sitting next to you.
Going commando!
Couldn't you make yourself a pair?
If I had a sewing machine, I only borrowed it.
All right, John.
I want this to be true. I want this to be one of
want it
our
to be
greatest All Black number 7s. What do you think?
I feel like it's too good to be true. Things this great are never true. I'm disappointed with my life, but I think it's. This is a side note. It's too good to be true.
It's too good to be true. What do you think?
There's too much detail in that for a first timer. I think he's lying.
We want it to be true so much we know it could never be true, Paul. It's a lie.
They're pretty emphatic about that, Josh. They say it's a lie.
Well, I can safely say with all the detail, it was hand done by myself. It is true.
That is amazing.
When you wore them to the party, were you wearing underpants?
No, because...
Do you own underpants?
Yes, I do. But the ladies will tell you, you can't have a panty line.
You're an All Black. You can't be worried about VPL.
Very good. Dave Gibson, your turn.
I still regret leaving Boy Scouts due to peer pressure.
You got peer pressured out of Boy Scouts. Were the people pressuring you, were they within the Scout organisation or without it?
Get out of Scouts, get out of Scouts.
Yeah, was it?
Get out while you still can, Dave.
We hate you.
We can't leave. You should get out.
Give me that woggle. Go.
No, it was my friends at school who were not in Scouts, and I managed to hide it from them because I was in Scouts quite late, up until about 15. and I managed to hide it from them. And once they found out, it was just really embarrassing, and I had to leave.
Who dobbed you in?
It just kind of came out because I had these stories about what I did in the weekends, which started to, you know, like
Started with jamboree and ended with knot tying.
jamboree, knot tying, tramping, all that type of thing.
They twigged.
They twigged, yeah.
Wearing the badges out to parties and
Badges.
stuff.
Is
that a scout badge? No, I'm just really into the band knot tying.
What was the draw to stay in Scouts?
I think I just like the adventure, Paul.
You must have been the
camaraderie.
oldest Scout.
No, there was a couple of us. We were all hanging in there. I wanted actually to continue on from Scouts. It was actually my hope to get into the next organisation up in the hierarchy called Venturers.
Of course.
You know it.
Yep.
Venturers.
It's traffic wardens.
No. you may laugh, but in your mid-30s you can actually join an organisation called Rovers.
And by that stage, you're actually more qualified than the New Zealand Army.
Yeah, very likely, yeah.
Hey,
And greater numbers.
And you said in your statement that you regret it. You regret your decision.
Yeah.
So why is that?
I enjoyed it, and I think it taught me many handy skills, such as knot tying and whittling. I've actually considered starting an inner-city urban scout troop myself.
What's the Scout motto?
Be prepared.
Like, always come on a panel show wearing underpants, that sort of thing.
That would be a tenet of the Boy Scouts, yes.
Is it weird, Dave, that you left Scouts and yet you still dress like a Scout?
Yeah, I hadn't noticed, but I think deep down there is a yearning. I'm still a Scout, I'll say it. Deep down, I don't think I ever left, metaphorically.
Have you written a song about it for your group, about being a Scout and all that?
No,
Nice
I
song, wouldn't
haven't.
it?
I
I was
haven't.
a Scout, but now I'm out, that sort of thing.
No.
See, lyrically, that's better than most of what Element of P comes up with.
Yeah.
Susanna.
Jesse, it's time for a decision.
Suzanne?
No, he's lying. He's lying his head off. You can see the lies are queuing up behind his teeth. Have a look, look.
I think that's a moustache. But anyway, Josh,
I'm lying.
we all say no. We all say it's a lie, Paul. It's a lie.
They're saying it's a lie, Dave.
You shouldn't have done that. It is true. Yes, Well done, sir.
It is true. Believe me, if leaving the Scouts is your biggest regret, Dave, you got off very, very lightly. And at the end of that round, John's team are actually on the scoreboard for once. It's 100 points to 80. Join us in a moment when we'll be playing This Is Mine. Welcome back to Would I Lie to You? Our next round is called This Is My, where we bring on a mystery guest who has a close connection to one of our panellists. Now, this week, each of John's team will claim it's them that has the genuine connection. It's up to Jesse's team to spot who's telling the truth. Please welcome this week's special guest, Philip. Welcome along, Philip. All right, John, would you like to tell us who Philip is?
Absolutely. This is Philip. Philip is a huge fan of Paul Henry, and he's paid me $200 to get him on the show today.
All right, Dave.
This is Philip, or Phil, as I like to call him. He was my wholesale Christmas tree supplier.
And Emmett.
This here is Philip, or as I called him, Mr. P. He was my arts advisor when I did amateur art.
All right then, Jesse's team, it couldn't be simpler. Where do you want to start?
We'll start with John, please. It's probably the least credible that someone would pay to be near you, Paul.
That's what I thought.
Did you know Philip before this whole incident, John? Or did he
Before
just
what?
approach you on the street?
Well, he's a friend of my wife's parents.
How did it sort of come about?
Even before that, I knew I was doing the show. Philip would always be going on about what a great broadcaster Paul Henry was, and
What?
Yeah.
To be fair, not just Philip.
to be fair, mostly just Philip. And it was a bit of an argument point amongst us. You know, we'd always debate.
What does he
Paul
like
Henry.
about Paul Henry?
Well, I don't know.
What would you say about Paul Henry?
I'd say Paul Henry's awesome. And then once I started doing the show, and then Philip found out that Paul Henry was on it, then it was all, Christmas, birthday, it's always, really want to come meet Paul Henry and everything. And so, yeah.
How did you settle on the sum of $200?
That's the most I could get out of him.
So what did you ask for initially?
Well, I asked for 1,000. But Philip isn't that rich, and he doesn't like Paul Henry quite that much.
Who does? Oh, sorry. I didn't realise I was saying that out loud.
All right, Dave Gibson, remind us.
Yeah, this is Philip. He was my wholesale Christmas tree supplier. I would on-sell the Christmas trees that I got from Phil to the general public, folks like you and Paul.
Where did you sell them?
Multiple locations in Glenfield. And key, you see those kids on the side of the road selling Christmas trees. I was one of those, but I branded my sites I called them Uncle Dave's Bushy Christmas trees, and that was my thing.
What's funny about that?
Yeah, don't go casting stones, Blue Monkey.
Where did Phil get the Christmas trees from?
Phil has a Christmas tree farm where he grows them.
And
Where is that, Dave?
It is in Albany, up north.
Although in the Christmas tree business, it's more of a don't ask, don't tell. I don't want to know where they come from.
It is. You don't like to reveal your sources.
Just as long as the price is right.
As long as it's bushy enough, basically.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, Phil's trees were bushy as.
Were you ever...
Just like his eyebrows.
Were you ever faced with having to say, I'm sorry, Phil, I'm not prepared to take that tree, it isn't bushy enough?
I tell you what, Phil's product was pretty. It was pretty up there. I'd gone through a few Christmas tree suppliers in my time.
Plus, Dave probably had an outlet store down the road that was Uncle Dave's Scraggly Trees.
Scraggly, skinny
Cut price. What did you do with the Christmas trees that didn't sell overnight?
I hid them in the bushes.
Perfect place to hide them.
You hid them in the bushes.
You could hide a Christmas tree in a bush quite well.
All right, Emmett, remind us.
Mr. P, or Philip, he was my arts advisor when I did amateur art.
Josh, you do a bit of drawing yourself, don't you? So you know your art.
Yeah. Cool.
So what sort of mediums are you working in?
Well, I worked in sketch, and I would... when I was 17, I really wanted to be
Not style,
an athlete.
medium.
So I'll just explain.
Yeah.
When I was 17, I really wanted to be an athlete. And I understood that perhaps if I understood the body better, I'd be able to run faster and jump higher because I was a high jumper. And I asked if I could have Phil's assistance from one of my friends. And I began to draw nudes, actually.
Life drawings.
Life drawings? Yeah.
Did you ever draw anyone's Almighty Johnson?
No. I was 17 and a little bit giggly and a little bit... I didn't think I was quite ready for that, so they always had a towel or underwear on.
Right.
But it was about, you'd get them in sort of poses like this.
More scant.
Sort of getting the muscles on their back. And I would sketch those and understand the shape of the muscle. And
So Phil, what was Phil's role in this? He was your life model pimp, was he? You'd say, I need
in a way.
a man with a bulging thigh, and he'd say, I can find you the guy.
No, well, no. He knew the guys. And I would take my art to him after having these classes with these people. And he would tell me what I could do better and what I was bad at.
He'd say, humans have
2 legs, not
2 legs, not 3. Try and work on that next time.
So it sounds to me like it couldn't be simpler. It's pretty obvious, isn't it?
Okay, Josh, who are you going to pick? Who's telling the truth?
$200.
John Bridges, eh?
Oh, I was
Dirty
going to
Bridges.
go with Emmett.
And I'm leaning towards Emmett as well, Paul. I think he looks more like the artistic type than the type would be into you. Doesn't look weird enough to be a fan of yours. So we're going to say Emmett is telling the truth.
All right, so your team say Emmett are telling the truth. Philip, would you like to reveal your true identity?
I am Philip, and I was Dave's wholesale Christmas tree supplier.
Yes, fantastic. But you are presumably well on track to being my biggest fan.
I'm sure. I'll keep watching you.
Sorry to put you on the spot like that. Ladies and gentlemen, Philip. Yeah. Thanks so much, Philip. Thank you. And after that round, John's team are in the lead. I can hardly believe it. It's 250 points to 100. Join us after the break for Quickfire. Welcome back to Would I Lie to You? Our final round tonight is Quickfire, where our panellists lie not only through their teeth but against the clock. And again, they don't know if they're about to read out a true fact about themselves or a made-up fact that they've never seen before in their lives. And we'll start with you, Suzanne.
Possession.
Ah, right. So under your desk, somewhere around your legs.
Wait a minute. Oh. This is something I collect. I have 100 more at home.
A snow dome.
What's inside that one?
It's a cat. Looks
It's Egyptian, by the look of it.
cat.
When did you get
Yes.
that one that you know so well and love?
Hey, I'm just looking. It's got all Egyptian writing on the, see, Jesse?
Hieroglyphics.
Round hieroglyphics, and it's got the cat in and glitter in.
And when did you get that one and where?
Somebody gave me that as a gift.
Who?
A friend of mine.
Really?
Oh, who?
Details.
Like the Gestapo.
To be fair,
It's a different era.
Dave does look like the Gestapo.
Well,
Can you tell us about some of your other
Hey.
snow globes?
Yep, so I've got snow globes from Wolverhampton.
Really?
Just a picture of a poor, skinny,
Yeah.
dirty child inside there. What's inside there? Was it 1,000 luminous spheres inside there?
Thousands of luminous spheres that reflect the light. But wait, there's more.
So where actually are they? Where are they in your
On
house?
the sideboard.
You've got 100 snow globes on
On
one
the
sideboard.
sideboard with my mother's ashes.
Do you ever take your mother's ashes and just give them a bit of a shake and look at them dancing around there, so pretty?
That's the only trouble when you've got 100. You sort of got to run along quick. Next one, and it's like being a juggler, you know. By the time you get to the end, this one stops snow globing, so you got to off you go again. They're not that popular now. I don't know why, but you can't find them in that many
You should get into them,
places
Paul. That'd be
now.
perfect for someone with too much money.
And I thought of something else.
What is it?
Another friend did try and bring me one over from overseas and had it in the carry-on luggage.
And?
And they took it off them because they said it had liquid in. So anyway, that was what my friend said. I don't think she really bought me one.
And to be honest, all right, John, it's time to make a decision on this.
Well, the trouble with this is that we're being asked to ascertain some of the details of Suzanne's life, and I don't actually think that Suzanne knows some of the details of her own life. What do you think, Dave?
I thought it was a lie, but the line about not taking on hand luggage rang true, and I just saw a spark in her eye, and I'm gonna change my mind. I'm gonna say it's true now.
Okay, Emmett, I'm going to have to ask you, what's it actually like kissing Keisha Castle-Hughes?
Very professional.
Good answer.
That's good.
Good answer.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think about Suzanne?
I'd say she's telling the truth.
We think she's telling the truth.
She must have a very large mantelpiece in your mind. All right, they say you're telling the truth.
Well, just goes to show, doesn't it? It is the truth.
Yes.
It was the carry-on. It was the carry-on.
The natural gut.
Yes, it's absolutely true. In a way, an Egyptian snow globe is a bit like Suzanne herself. It's small, it's precious, and when you see it, you just want to shake the crap out of it.
Thank you.
Let's go to Jessie.
I once accidentally got a perm.
How can we believe it was an accident?
Yeah. How does one accidentally get a perm, Jesse? Elaborate.
Well, I was living in Hamilton at the time.
It's true. Got it. Say no more.
Yep.
And I was at university, and I got convinced that the reason I wasn't doing as well as the other guys was that I didn't have cool enough hair.
Doing as well
as at what?
Well, you know what it's like when you first get to university. Everyone else seems like they're having a lot of, rumpy-pumpy with the opposite sex. And I was like, I need to do something about this. So I went to the hairdresser and I said, change my look.
You don't think the problem could have been using words like rumpy-pumpy?
Jesse, can you tell me when you first realised that you'd made a massive mistake?
Yeah, I can tell you exactly the time, because I wasn't actually looking into the mirror of the hairdresser when she took the things out, and she spun me round, and I said, hey, look, that's Ice TV presenter John Bridges. And she said, no, that's a reflection of you in the mirror. And I actually had full-on curls, and she said, we may have put it on a bit too long.
Yours is natural, though, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
Mother Nature can be so cruel, can't it?
John, you have to decide.
What do you think?
True.
My gut's saying not true.
Whose gut do I believe? We're going to say it is not true.
They say it's a lie.
It is a true.
Oh, no! It's all right.
Josh, your turn.
I have a phobia of sunflowers.
Josh has a phobia of sunflowers.
Let's take you right back, Josh, to when this began. What happened?
My parents left me behind, I think by accident, I'm hoping, and it was in a field of sunflowers. And of course, they're tall. And I don't know, have you ever driven past a field of sunflowers? The sunflowers, they all kind of seem to turn towards you. And,
I know what you mean.
Yeah, and so it was like
sinister, isn't it?
It is. So it was like I've walked into this field and I got lost in there. There was a big field, 3-4-year-old, these sunflowers looking, and I had a bit of a freak out. You know, that's it. And now, whenever a sunflower sort of comes back, I start breaking into a sweat. And
Whenever they start looming over you, marching towards you.
mate, they're still taller than me.
Yeah.
I'm only 6'1".
Yeah. So a florist must be like a living hell for you.
Look, when I go to a florist, I peek in, and if I see them, I don't go in.
All right, John, time for you to decide.
Really?
Yes,
What do
really.
you think, Emmett, about this story about sunflowers?
It's very realistic. It's definitely a possibility. So I'd say it's true.
It has a ring of truth about it. And I'm gonna go with that ring of truth and say it's true.
We think it's true.
Who would be scared of sunflowers? It's a lie.
Yes,
Ring of truth.
it's a lie. Josh isn't afraid of flowers, and to prove it, he's sitting next to Jessie tonight. And that sound signals the end of the show. I can reveal that Jessie's team have won by the narrowest of margins, a mere 10 points. Well done to your team.
Well played.
Of course, it's not just a team game, and my individual liar of the week this week is Suzanne Paul. And your prize, Suzanne, not $300, not $200, not any dollars at all. All the money has been spent on me. Good night.
Thanks, New Zealand On Air. I never knew lying could be such fun.